and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And good morning to all my South Shore neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara. You are, of course, listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable, and we are here another sunny, warm day in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to
manifest.
I'm manifesting it. Yeah. But I am here. You heard her voice. Yes, that was Melissa Wallace, my sidekick. She is the Director of Operations and Agent Relations here at Boston Connect Real Estate. Of course, I'm the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate. 15 years now, yeah. So, yeah, it's been great. And, of course, I believe we still have Tim McKinney in studio for us this morning in Marshfield. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning. We all we got, we all we need. Let's go Patriots.
Yes, we are. Yes, I am very excited about the game tomorrow. I know they're underdogs, but you know what? I think the underdogs, it makes you work a little harder. Mm-hmm. Nothing's given, right? That's worth having. Right, free, nothing easy.
Yeah.
How does that whole saying go?
Nothing good comes easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. And then, I was a little, PO'd that he didn't get the MVP. I get it. Give it to the old guy. Give it to the old guy.
Yeah. There's always next season.
There is. It will make him work even that much harder. So, that's what Mark's theory is. Well, you know what? That means our Drake May is going to go out and he's going to even try harder than he did this year, next year. So, imagine that.
Wow. 2
Super Bowl rings back to back. Wouldn't that be fabulous?
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in all reality, I don't care. I don't get to wear the ring.
In all reality, she doesn't care.
I know. I remember one year I had, they had lost early in the playoffs. They lost the first game or something, and I made a post. I was like, well, it looks like I don't have to schedule my open houses around the Patriots games anymore, and people were not happy with me.
Oh, Sharon.
Got some hate.
I got some hate.
I bet you did. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't wish it for them.
You should have read the room.
How dare she, a resident of Patriots Nation, bad-mouthing the Patriots. Oh.
Yeah, I know. When I worked at Reebok, I don't know if you knew that about my past life, Tim. When I worked at Reebok, the Super Bowl.
You mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
The Super Bowl is a big deal, especially for, these big companies and everything, and getting all the shoes there and setting up shop and all the people that go. I mean, it would be something interesting to see, but I don't know if I like that many people.
There's a lot of people there.
There's a lot of people there.
A lot of people spending a lot of money to be there.
Yeah. It's a lot of people. Anyways, I'd like to watch from my nice, cozy sofa.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that now. It used to be the big Super Bowl parties and everything. And I don't know. I mean, I know, I just want to be home. I don't want to do anything.
It could something to do with your age.
I am very old.
You're getting
feel
older. I'm definitely
Cannot,
old.
No, but when
I can't go out anymore.
I know.
No.
When the Patriots won the last game and we celebrated, and then Ethan turns to me and he goes, "We're staying home for the Super Bowl. We're not going anywhere. If anybody asks," I'm like, "Okay, I get it." Because he wants to. He's very expressive when he watches football. He, I think, believes that he's on the team, so he takes it very personal. Yes, he's a very passionate sports fan. So
you call that a field pass? What the
Yeah.
heck was that?
So he's one of those people that should be home.
Yeah. And people who go to the bars and all that other stuff. Like, hey, when I was young, we used to do that. I mean,
I used to go to Super Bowl parties, and I used to think that was like the thing to do, and you had to do. And now I'm like, oh, I don't even want anybody over my house.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. I'll make some wings.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to be in my PJs.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, go Pats. We are super excited for you. And obviously, what is it? Patriots Nation here. We are definitely proud of our boys. Again. So good luck, guys. We are rooting you on for sure. Yeah. So today we just thought, usually we come up with the show of something that sort of happened this, during the week in the office.
Well, this is happening.
Yeah, this is happening, but this isn't like, oh, we had a situation type thing that we, learned from. But as we were talking about it yesterday, I was looking out the window and the mound of snow from the parking lot where Big Y is going across the street from us. If you didn't know that, WATD listeners, let us be the ones to tell you. The Big Y is taking over the previous Stop and Shop location in Pembroke Center, right in the CVS Plaza and everything.
And we are very excited about it.
We are very excited about it, right across the street from our office. So, they're going to have a little cafe in there and everything. But the snow mound over there, I'm so bad with the feet stuff, but it's pretty high. It looks like the Blue Hills over there.
Taller than you.
Much taller than, I saw a truck go by the other day, and it was bigger than the truck. So we're looking at all the snow, and I have a home inspection today with one of my clients, one of my buyer clients, is purchased a home, and we have the home inspection today. And I was sort of thinking about that, and I was like, wow, like the things that you can do when there's snow on the ground, the things you can't do when there's snow on the ground, the, pros and cons of doing inspections in the wintertime, all those types of things. So that's our topic today, home inspections during the winter months.
Yeah, and I think the past couple of years we've gotten a little spoiled with having pretty mild winters. I don't think that we got a lot of snow last year, or even the year before, maybe here and there. But I think it's been a couple of years since we've had, this much snow at least. I know it's going to snow today, but
it is snowing today.
Well, yeah, I know, but it is snowing today. It snowed last night or yesterday, but I think that we got spoiled, and we might sort of forget the impact that snow can have, because when you don't see the snow, you kind of forget that it does impact home inspections and really just real estate in general. But today, obviously, we're going to be talking about how it affects how the winter months affect home inspections. But, we talk about spring market and how it's already here. And it sort of showed up early this year. Typically, we gauge it by the Monday after Super Bowl. But I think that you're feeling the spring market with your clients.
Yeah,
I know I'm feeling it with a lot of our agents' clients with things coming under agreement. So
yeah, I mean, there was a home inspection on my listing, and actually, hello to our WATD listeners. We had a couple people who listened to the show. I believe that they said that they lived in Carver now. They came to the open house yesterday, and they remembered when this was on the market. I think it was like 2014 when the current owner bought it.
Yeah.
So they did come to the open house yesterday and visited myself, and Melissa Clemens was with me last week, one of our full-time agents here.
You had
Boston
an open
Connect.
House yesterday?
Last week.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Last week.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, last week. When was it? Last Saturday we did that, right?
Yeah.
So we had that open house, and some of our WATD listeners came. So yeah,
well,
that
thanks
was fun.
for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for
stopping
coming
by.
and visiting us. But that one we put it on the market. We ended up with multiple offers. We had the home inspection over there yesterday. I'll be discussing all of, anything that came up with the home inspection, with that agent today or tomorrow. He's on vacation, so I try to respect that timeline too with his family in Disney, I believe. And then I have a home inspection with one of my buyer clients today. And then after that, I'm shooting down to Falmouth, and I'm showing 5 properties in Falmouth. So the spring market is here. And then when you were talking, one of the things, I think it's, so you notice I doodle. I think that's like my way to, like with my ADD, it sort of grounds me. And I laugh inside my head because I was like, well, maybe Mother Nature, like maybe we were getting too soft here in New England, right? And
toughen us up again.
Yeah, we're supposed to be hardy New Englanders. You know what I mean?
Well, think about what Mackenzie said to you, because now she lives outside of Dallas and they were getting snow a couple weeks ago. And she's like, oh, I'm prepared. And you're like, but Dallas isn't. Like, just because you're from New England doesn't mean you're gonna survive.
Yeah,
like Dallas isn't. You are.
It was 0 there last weekend. It was 85 when I talked to her last night. Yeah, so
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I think maybe Mother Nature is just hardying us up. But again, it brings us back to good topics like this and how you can best be prepared if you are a buyer. Right now, things that you should be considering if you are, don't not buy a house because it's winter. It's a great time to buy it. Maybe there's less inventory. Maybe there are less buyers out there. Maybe there's less competition, so you can negotiate a little bit better, perhaps, depending on the house. But you can have that home inspection, and, we're going to go over all the things to consider. I love that Mel made, Mel, by the way, would be my loving name for Melissa. Remember one of our clients was like, well, she calls you Mel. Yeah. Can we call you Mel?
Say, so Sharon did call you Mel, and I noticed that you introduced yourself as Melissa, but what should we call you? And I said, well, all my friends call me Mel, so you better call me Mel. So
they're super sweet too.
Yeah, they are very sweet.
Yeah, their house is coming on the market. We have pictures scheduled for that next week or the week after. But you made another checklist for our buyers. And to one of the other WATD listeners, I feel bad about this with the whole Super Bowl squares. Time got ahead of us this week, just so busy. So I want to, we have your email address. Yeah. We're going to reach out to you to ask you what your email, what your address is. And we're going to send you a $25 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Can you put that in your notes too, Mel? So I'm sorry about that we didn't end up doing the squares. I just ran out of time. So, but we only had
busy
one.
Market.
Yeah. We only had one listener who reached out to us to be part of that. So we are sending you a $25 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. And if you prefer something else, just email us, realeestate@bostonconnect.com. So you made another checklist. We had that checklist last week. And after the show, I was like, this checklist is so good for the show that I did last week. I'm going to make a book out of it. So I'll have things to give to people. And then this week you have winter home inspection checklist for buyers as well. And part of what I always sort of go back to a lot, because I'm a very strong listing agent, is what you can do as a seller to help buyers also in these situations with a lot of snow.
I also want to point out that just because it's winter doesn't mean that your home inspection isn't going to be great. I think that winter months can also reveal issues that warmer months might not be able to. So it's not good or bad either way. It's just you're sort of exposing other elements to your home or potential home that warmer months wouldn't sort of be able to. And whether it's an issue or whether you walk into the house and you're like, oh, this heating system works. Yeah. It's nice and warm, things like that. Or this heating system does not work because it is freezing in here. Things like that. And we'll get into sort of some of the things that could come up, some issues that could come up that'll arise more during the winter months than warmer. But I just thought it was important to sort of say, just because it's winter doesn't mean you're not going to have a great home inspection. You are going to have a great home inspection. It just might reveal a little bit more, things that than a warmer month home inspection would.
And I know like winter inspections is about risk awareness too, safety and planning ahead. So it's nice when you are looking around and you can see sort of, especially when it starts to melt a little bit. I think that's also a good time as well, like when some of those warmer days come. But when it's cold and frigid out, like I know there's a light socket in my house. When I touch it, it's cold. When it gets like that bitter cold. Really? Yeah. So I guess that's something I'll have to disclose to somebody one day. I don't know why. It's there's a closet. It's like sort of an overhang area, like over the front steps there. Oh. Yeah, so I don't know if it has something to do with that. But you can pick up on things like that for sure. And interestingly, while I was in the office yesterday, we had a class here yesterday, and I was looking out my window and I noticed one of the buildings near us has a huge ice dam. And those are things that you can't see in the summer for sure, but you definitely want to make sure that you're looking inside. Like, did anything leak in there? Did it damage the shingles on the exterior of the roof? Did it leak inside and have any type of stains and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, and this is more for sellers. So if you're a seller, take a walk around your house and, take down those big icicles that are hanging.
I saw one hanging on our front porch too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the other day. I meant to say something to Mark about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still there.
Just doing some maintenance, whether your house is on the market or not, just making sure that you're going around and getting all that down, because you don't want a bigger issue on your hands.
Mm-hmm. One of the things when you think about inspectors is, are they getting on top of the roof? Are they doing those types of inspections? I'd say for the most part, we don't see many inspectors that are getting on roofs anyways. I mean, the liability and risk of that any time of year is sort of high. You definitely have to get permission from the seller in order to be up there. But certainly in this type of weather, you're not going to. So, if you think about the roof, I mean, the situation that we have right now is that there's snow on all of the roofs, so you can't really see it. So as a seller, I think that that's one of the things to consider when you're coming on the market these times of year. Maybe get somebody, when you have the photographer there, ask the agent to get close-ups of the roof so you can see like the condition of the roof. And if you're a buyer, ask your agent to ask the listing agent, hey, does the seller have any photos of the roof without snow on it?
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think that's important. We have a little list here. So, just talking about how weather changes and how that impacts the process is, snow, ice, and frozen ground directly affect visibility, accessibility, and safety. And you said that earlier, that winter inspections about risk awareness, safety, and planning, and not just sort of the pass and fail. Oh, this doesn't work, this does work. It's also, the safety of living there. I know that there is a sort of a strict safety standard that a lot of home inspectors follow. So if you've ever been a part of a home inspection, or if you've never been a part of the home inspection, a part of it is also learning about the house. So you're walking around and they're not just trying to find everything that's wrong. They're also teaching you how to use certain things. But also they say, hey, this isn't necessarily safe for you. This isn't a necessarily safe, railing or stairs or, deck or things like that. So they will talk to you about that.
And with those areas, like with the visibility, like let's just talk about that. Like, so when we say, the visibility with snow, ice, and frozen ground, the visibility aspects of it are, okay, one, the obvious, can't see the roof with snow on it, but you have to think about piles of snow around your foundation. So they won't be able to visually see any cracks maybe in the foundation, walking around the house. Again, I always go back to the seller. If you're putting your house on the market before these things come, before the snow comes, maybe do a little video around. And this is what it looked like previous to the snow. You have no idea though. I wouldn't make any warranties or representations. I mean, that's what it was before the snow was there, but who knows what would happen? Gremlins come in, right? So you can't see, so visibility, you can't see that. You can't see, maybe there's cracks in the walkways. Maybe there's cracks on, maybe the front steps aren't used all the time. Like at our house, we don't particularly use our front steps all that often. It's more for the Amazon delivery guy.
Which still has to be safe.
Yes, absolutely. But, that is not shoveled first, so you wouldn't be able to maybe see that. But if you are having a home inspection, you ask the seller to make sure, if they can get those areas clean so the home inspector has a better opportunity to see some of them. The big one, too, is you can't see the landscaping, so some people might be surprised when that snow melts and they see
things that are not so great.
Weeds, just like a field of clover and weeds, in the spring. So having good pictures, again, as a seller beforehand, this is what it looked like.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would rather have maybe some weeds in the yard covered by snow than, cracks in my foundation around like
or a big hole in the roof.
Big hole in the roof, So there are some sort of limitations. We're not expecting sellers to remove every single little inch of snow so you can inspect every single blade of grass that's frozen underneath. It's just not realistic. People still need to live their everyday life, and even though they're selling their home or purchasing a home, but there are some limitations. So you said cracks in the foundation. There's also cracks in walkways or steps that could be hidden. That could become hazards, and I think that snow can mask sort of some major issues that can come up once the snow sort of goes away.
Yeah.
But
and keep your eyes up, look up, and look for those icicles. Casey actually sent us in our family text. She sent us pictures of these icicles coming off the side of fire escapes in Boston, and I thought you should put that on only in Boston. Look at that picture. Only in Boston. And Mark's like, don't walk under those, they'll kill somebody.
Yes.
So
and then it melts and you don't have your murder weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mark was very aggressive. Those will kill someone.
Yeah. So that will kill somebody if they break off. I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so look for those, whatchamacallit, look for those, what are they, ice dams and things like that. And then if you see an ice dam on the outside, make sure you have your inspector look on the inside. But I'm sure that the inspector will know that.
Yeah. Another thing that you can't really determine is the grading. So like grading issues, having water that flows away from sort of the foundation, and sort of seeing that those the grading is correct around the house, or even the flow of the water coming down from the spouts.
Yeah.
And because sometimes it's not, and sometimes during inspections you do ask for things like that to be fixed, and you might not be able to during the winter.
Yeah, that is one of the things. I remember one time having a home inspection, and it was like pouring rain out, but it was cold. Like it was like that in between, like rain, and it's like cold enough that like, oh, it's gonna freeze up later, and you could see how it came off of down the gutters and down the driveway, that was going to freeze, and somebody potentially, you could get hurt on that for sure. You're listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am Sharon McNamara, owner of Boston Connect Real Estate. Of course, I'm here with my sidekick, Melissa Wallace, who is my co-host every weekend. She is the Director of Operations and Client Relations here at Boston Connect Real Estate. If you have any questions for us regarding this topic, of course, you can call us. And even if it's another topic regarding real estate, give us a call, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. And if you want to text, you can text that number with your question, and Tim will read it to us.
Kristen Howlett, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She is watching us on social media. Hello, we're waving. She said some inspectors now have drones to visually inspect the roof.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that they all should at this day and age, really, right?
I mean, with
Send
what you're
one
paying.
Up. Yeah, I mean, just send one up. I mean, we have a drone here for the office, and that's something that maybe I should get better at doing this time of year, is like, oh, let's just send the drone up and see, take some pictures, like close-ups and stuff, and some video. And that is the thing, like, you have to almost take the risk of knowing, all right, this is what it was. I mean, we have time stamping of everything. So this is what it was, but who knows what happened after the snow, right?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
All right, next. So exterior. What other things that we can talk about with the exterior? So we talked about the roof.
Windows, the window wells, right? So a lot of times, like the window wells on the first floor will fill up with snow. And ice and things like that. So just look in that location too, and always look wherever that's piling up. Look on the inside and see if anything is coming in that way. And then I was just even thinking about window sills, you know what I mean? Because if there's a lot of snow piled up on window sills, like try to get it brushed off, because how are you going to see if the window sills are rotted?
Yeah, exactly. We talked about the roof, shingles, flashing, chimneys also.
Yeah, chimneys is a good one. Mm-hmm.
Chimneys, it could be difficult if it's, snow-covered roofs.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the other things, too, is if you're driving down the street, I'll never forget this one. This was Steve Cook, who previously owned Imperial Home Inspections. When he used to come on the show with us, I remember him saying, like, if you're driving down a street and you see all the roofs have snow on it, and then you see a roof that doesn't have any snow on it, that means that their insulation, they're not insulated correctly. So heat is escaping the house, going into the attic, warming up the roof, and melting the snow on the roof.
So you're looking for houses that have snow on the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, something to point out is, yes, you might not be able to get up on the roof. You might not be able to see on the roof, but you can get into the attic. So getting into the attic, you'll be able to check for leaks, any staining up there, if you can see any daylight coming through, and any cracks that you might be able to see. And that's something that's visible in the attic.
Yeah, and be careful too. Like, I did have a house one time. This was years and years and years ago, and it was a Cape style house, and it had sort of like a crawl space in the front part of the house. And the homeowner, he was in there one time, and he saw daylight, and like he saw some light coming through. So he thought, oh, that shouldn't be like that, and he stuffed it with insulation. Well, lo and behold, it was the soffit vents. Soffit vents are there to do a job, and that is to, so you have flow of air, right?
Yeah.
So there's ventilating of the air. And what that ended up causing was a big mold problem. So don't just, if you're not familiar with contracting, and you're not, if you're not that person, guy or girl, don't just assume that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So call somebody and ask. And Mass Save still has programs out there. I just got something in the mail the other day about Mass Save. Have them come in, and they certainly would know the best way to make sure that that's right.
I also think that it's important to note that you're going to get a report at the end of your inspection, whether it's right away because they hand wrote it, or, you'll get it through an email after the fact. But if for some reason an inspector can't inspect something, they will note it on the inspection report. So you will, it's a lot of information, and sometimes it's a few hours, and you might forget, like, oh, what did they say about this? And then you can go back and look at it and say, oh, they weren't able to inspect it.
And for the love of Mary, stay with your home inspector. Nothing drives me more crazy. You're spending money to have a home inspector come to the house. I know you're excited about the house. We'll make another appointment so you can like poke around and do whatever you want to do. But being with the inspector is so important, because you sort of hit upon it earlier. You're there to learn the house as well as find out if there are any intricacies with it that may not be perfect, right? It isn't all about, like, people think, oh, I'm going to home inspection, it's about renegotiation. No, it isn't. It's about learning the house. It's about understanding the mechanicals, understanding, maintenance work that you should be doing on a yearly basis, all those things. Stay with them, and don't be pulled into the other room by your father or your father-in-law.
Yeah. Say no.
I feel like there should be something that's like maybe I just pull all the dads aside. I'm going to, WATD listeners, if you're a dad, don't do it. Don't be that dad.
Are you going to tell the dad today?
Yeah, he's my cousin. I'll tell him whatever I want.
Stay in your lane.
Well, what I'm going to say, and I say this, I promise you that he is going to go through this whole house. The inspector they chose, by the way, I have not had an inspection with before. They know him personally. So this will be good with me too, right? So I like to always have, great people in my database to, refer to my clients. But stay with him. If you happen to see something or notice something, he'll get to it. And if he doesn't, bring it up to him.
Yeah.
But back to your point here is they will indicate on the report that it wasn't visible. They weren't able to see it, or things like that for you to look back. So this is the thing. Once you're in your house and the springtime comes, take that list and go back and look at those areas and look at them.
Yeah. I think that's important. Always take a little loop around your house.
Yep.
A major thing that you might not be able to inspect during the winter months is the air conditioning. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think it surprises people that when they do have a home inspection this time of year, that they are not fully aware that the AC conditioner, no, air conditioner can't be checked. And that's because that condenser can't be running in the cold weather. So that's, again, we talked about this in our that was my favorite. We had our favorite class this week in the office on Thursday. We had a couple classes in workshops and roundtables this week. It was what I learned from one of my deals or transactions last year.
Yeah.
But we talked about this a little bit too, is, if you are a seller, before the summer ends and before the spring ends, have somebody come out and just give you a report that says, at the time that I closed put the AC off, things were working properly. Again, does that mean that they necessarily are when you put them back on? No, because there's gremlins come in the winter and they just
like to
disrupt,
cause chaos.
Yeah. So that's with the air conditioner. You can't run the air conditioner in the winter months, but getting something from the seller. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to call Amy for yesterday. She's one of the attorneys that we use here. And I was going to ask her that question. Is there something that can be put in the purchase and sales agreement this time of year that protects buyers when it comes the spring?
Yeah. And
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, we'll have to ask, but I think it's also important to note that even though they can't turn it on, they will still visually inspect the unit. They'll know what the age and condition is at that time. And, they might say you might want to test it once you do own the house and see sort of the temperature wise and see if it's working then.
And if there is no snow all over it, they can peek in there because it's like sort of graded at the exterior, see if there's any little mouse nests in there, because you certainly don't want that.
No, you don't.
No.
Pools are a big one. Hard to inspect a pool in the middle of winter.
It's impossible, actually. It's not hard. It's impossible.
It's impossible. They're covered. They're winterized. But again, getting those reports and having, if you have it professionally closed, get that report from that company, just saying on this date when we professionally closed the pool, it was in working order, things like that. Those are really helpful for buyers.
And take good pictures. I mean, we talk about this at the end of, the summer. Hey, if you're thinking about coming on the market this fall, before you close up your pool, take some good visual pictures and things like that. So we had, one of our listings this year, that it was right at fall when she was closing the pool. We were able to have open houses with the pool open, which was nice. So the majority of the people were able to see it with the pool open and running. But then it just gets really costly. Like, when it starts to get a little chilly at night with the chemicals and just the upkeep. So it was good. We had the photographer, so we had a lot of pictures of when this pool was running.
Yeah. It's important to say that buyers should budget for, maybe doing a spring opening inspection, possible repairs once the pool is open, because you never know. You're opening an unknown.
And one of the things too is your general home inspector is not going to check a pool regardless.
Yeah.
So that's sort of
it's more of a visual thing.
Yeah.
Unless, we do know people who have done pool inspections, has put that in their offers and has done pool inspections. But it's important to note, if it's a saltwater pool, if it's a chlorinated pool, does it have a liner? With the age of the liner, the pumps, the heater, are there any leaks? Have you had any issues? These are all questions that you should be asking.
And if you don't know as a homeowner, then you have, like I said, you have somebody come in and close your pool. It's the saddest time of year around my house. We use Sunshine Pool. The Stone family has been the owners of Sunshine Pool for years. They're right down the street here, and Mark and I would consider Heather and Jim friends. They are great, wonderful, wonderful people. And I always see when they come, I say, put me last on the list to close the pool. I want to be last.
Yeah.
And I would sit in my bedroom window as they're all out there winterizing it. And I'm like, I don't like this day. But they come in October.
Yeah. You got a good amount of time with your pool.
Yeah. I just like it open.
Yeah.
I just do.
Well, how about this summer you get into it?
I know. I got in it a couple times last year. Yeah. I know. This year will be a good year for the pool. Yeah. So decks in exterior living areas, even too, if you think about the decks around pools as well, we have I forget what it's called. Travertine around our pool, which drives Mark crazy. I love the look of it. I love when the weeds come through. It just reminds me of Italy because travertine is a stone from Italy. And but if you have cement, you can't tell if there's cracks if there's snow on it.
Yeah.
So, these are things that will come up. So maybe as a buyer, these are questions that you're asking. Have a list of questions. Are there cracks in the decking?
In the deck.
I couldn't think of the word. Yep.
But even a deck off of the house, you're looking at rotted boards, loose railings, structural issues that might happen. So you want to make sure that, again, you're asking those questions. And even, I think a deck is pretty easy to clear. So having that clear, it's also a safety hazard too, because I'm just thinking about my own. If somebody was to do a home inspection on my house, they would probably go out the back slider or the door from the kitchen and go onto the deck. So they would want to be I would clear off the deck and make sure that they can.
Is your deck not cleared now?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, some people, we've heard recently that some clients don't clear off things.
Yeah.
So, just making sure that all of those are taken care of. Again, you don't want anyone to have a little whoopsies at your house.
Yeah. And last Saturday after my open house, I had to show a house in Hanson. I met my clients over there, and my client is expecting a baby, and I couldn't believe, well, first of all, I pulled in behind them and I was like, can you pull up a little more? My tail end is hanging into the street here. But then what I didn't realize is the homeowner didn't shovel the entire driveway.
Yeah.
So it's probably a single person that lives in this house that only needed enough space for one car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So didn't shovel all the way in. And then I did notice the path, shoveling the path to the steps and everything. There was a lot of snow, still snow and stuff on there. Packing it down doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I was nervous about that.
Well, it's interesting because, their house is on the market, and 9 times out of 10, your realtor is not in the car with you driving there. So you're going to need 2 cars at least.
Minimally, yeah.
So it's interesting that they didn't have that cleared for you guys. But again, it happens. But the importance is, making sure that it's all cleared and everybody is safe walking around.
Yep.
Let's see why snow removal is critical. Well, we sort of talked about that. So snow and ice should be cleared from driveways and walkways, entry steps and porches, decks and patios, access to electrical panels, meters, and bulkheads.
Yeah.
So I think that's
that came up last week for me in that listing that I had over on Blueberry Lane in Pembroke, over on the pond. Mark actually went over there for me and just shoveled a path to the bulkhead and got all the snow off the bulkhead. There's a crawl space there. So when people came to the open house and I was like, yes, there is a crawl space, feel free to use the bulkhead. My husband sort of shoveled, a path in the snow. So be careful. And, there's the bulkhead. And I was like, and under no circumstances will I be crawling under there with you. I have no idea what's under there.
Yeah.
And
it's a no from me.
It's a 0 chance that I'm going to be crawling in a crawl space.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Nope. Not in the job description.
I know. And like we said,
maybe years ago it would have been, but not now. I'd get under that. I'd never get out.
I could crawl in. I couldn't crawl out.
I know. The thing to me is if I was down there and, I know, where do snakes go this time of year? But if I saw a snake, I'd
in the ground? Question mark.
I don't know. Where do they go?
Where do they go?
I don't even
you know
want to
what I wondered the other day is, where do swans go?
I can hear Mark saying something in the other room. I don't know
He
if
might
he's on
be
the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know where swans go. Where do swans go? Do they fly south?
No, I don't know. I don't think they can fly that far. Can they?
I don't know. They're a bird. I don't know that they have like a limitation.
I don't know.
It isn't
I
like
saw a lot of geese the other day, though. I was like, have you read
all
the
the
room?
swans have like those the anklets on, like, like
because they're
prisoners.
aggressive.
No, the prisoners, like, you can only go this far.
Yeah.
Maybe they nest.
You know what? I was thinking about it when I was at the dentist the other day, because the pond right there, and I always see a swan, and then I was like, oh, I wonder where the swan is. Like, where do they go?
Do you feel bad for a single swan, because that means they lost their
mate?
They only mate once.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say anyways, but nobody knows once the lights go out.
Yeah. Nobody knows once winter comes and you don't know where they are.
Where are they?
But they always come back.
Yeah.
But where are they? I'll have to Google it. I mean, I should have.
Yeah, swans are pretty aggressive. You did say that. So I think they stay, like, if they lose their partner, their life partner, the reason they don't get another one is because the other one will kick the feathers off of them.
Kick the feathers off of them. So if anybody knows what happens to swans, let us know.
Because we're more interested than real estate right now.
Yeah, right now. Like we said, failure to remove the snow can limit inspection findings, delay the process, and create liability risks. So you want to make sure that you remove those. And also, inspectors are not required to remove snow or ice themselves. So keep that in mind if you are a seller. It's not the buyer's agent or the inspector's responsibility to remove the snow. Mm-hmm. It is yours.
Yeah. Excuse me. It's actually one of our rules here in the office that I broke my own rule. That it's one of our policies here that we're, as agents, we're not allowed to shovel people's driveways and pathways and things like that, because Massachusetts, I think it's one of those states, he who holds the shovel last owns the lawsuit. So we typically don't do that. I did have Mark do it last week. The owner lives in Rhode Island, and it was just a path to the bulkhead.
Yeah. I get even nervous at my own house, because I'm like, when I get deliveries or anything, especially like I've stopped, like if I need something,
you get it delivered here.
I'll just wait. Yeah, I'll get it delivered here. Whether it's Amazon or anything like that, I'm like, I don't want anybody in my driveway because it makes me nervous. But I think Ethan does a good job of getting rid of it. And then Mark comes plowing through. And we love that. Okay, so ice dams. We did talk about ice dams a little bit. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch upon with that one?
I mean, in here it just says ice dams form when heat escapes from the attic, snow melts and refreezes the roof edge. So when you see, icicles in the corner of a house, that's where that is forming. What ends up happening too is we also had Michael Parks on our show from Mighty Mike's Gutters. We had him on, and I think it was in the spring. And, we had this conversation about making sure that your gutters are cleaned out, because what ends up happening if you didn't clean them out in the fall and you have leaves and everything, debris in there, and birds nest in there and stuff. We have that at our house in this one section. But the snow will pile up on top of it, on top of it, on top of it. And then as it's melting, it just goes, the ice, then they make icicles, and they can form and they can get up underneath the shingles.
Yeah.
We had a big problem with ice dams in 2000. What was that? 14, I think it was. 14, 15.
Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah. And I remember Kristen Howlett. I think it was Kristen Howlett who said it. Of course, Kristen Howlett's full-time agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She does the show. She'll be actually hosting next week with Melissa. She's like, when did ice dams come around? I never heard. Didn't hear about ice dams until 2014 and 15.
Yeah.
I think they were always there, but I think that we just recognized them more. Yeah. And it was such a bad winter that's why we were seeing more and more of them. But inspectors look for heavy icicles. They look for ice buildup along the eaves, water staining in the attics and the ceilings, mold or damp insulation. And it can when you see ice dam, it signals the poor insulation, inadequate ventilation, air leakage from living space. And that's the thing. You know what I love about this is, reading this is, oh, I see pretty icicles hanging off somebody's house. But when you really think about it, these are the things that potentially could be wrong. And so that's good when that comes up in the home inspection. Hey, I see that there's an ice dam. This is something that, you should check when with the warmer weather.
Yeah.
Make sure you have enough. You can even check to see if there's enough insulation and everything in there now. So the inspectors can still tell you things. And maybe you wouldn't have known that if it wasn't in the winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it isn't like you would know that there's a pocket that doesn't have enough insulation in it, right? Unless you see the issue. That's how I feel about mold. Mold is, it's pretty easy to remediate. But the bigger problem is, how did it get there?
Yeah, what was the issue?
Yeah, what caused it,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you take care of that. But, here's a list of things that, all year round, no matter what the season is, inspectors can fully evaluate. So we have interior and structural things. So walls, ceilings, floors, stairs, railings, pretty much anything inside. Visible framing and foundation areas, signs of settlement or moisture intrusion.
Stop right there, because on the walls, I want to talk about this, an interior structure. How much time do we have left?
6 minutes.
One of my clients just in my house, and we're going to be closing on that like March 2nd, 3rd or something like that. And we were there. I met them there last week with my painter, Kevin Senna, who does all of our painting here, and we refer him often. He's just a wonderful, wonderful person. And I met him down there with my clients, and it's this weird, like when you look at the walls, it looks like stripes on the wall.
Yeah.
It's almost like you saw it, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like sooty. It looks like soot lines on it. And it's literally, you can see where every single stud is.
And nail.
In the wall. The way that and we're like, it must be coming from the fireplace. Like maybe it's soot, like what's happening here. So when the inspector was there, one of the things he did is he had his heat temperature gauge thing, and he put it on the wall. Like he didn't put it on the wall. He aimed it towards the wall. Yeah. He aimed it towards the wall, and it has. I want to get one of these. I'm going to order one on Amazon. Is it in the budget?
Depends on what it is.
Yeah. So I think it's like $250 or something. So it almost looks like, I don't know, it reminded me of like sort of one of the graphs I would see on the boat, like the chart explore, like the fish finder, you know what I mean? Where you see different like colors, and you could see spots where insulation, they need more insulation in those areas in order for that to not happen. So it has something to do with the studs getting cold and something or other.
So what's your client going to do? Are they going to?
Yeah. So first, what they're going to do is have it, obviously, Kevin is going to go in there and he'll prime and paint everything. And so it's nice and clean again. And then they will have somebody come back to inspect for the insulation. So it isn't something that happened overnight. So it isn't like they have to, rush to do that. But then they'll have somebody, because you can blow in insulation from the exterior.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe we should have an insulation person come on the show.
Yeah. If you're an installation person.
If you're an insulation guy.
Other things that we can inspect all year round.
Yeah.
Electrical system. So main service panel and sub panel, circuit breakers and wiring, GFCI and AFCI protection, smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. That's something that is done, before closing too.
One of the things that comes up with electrical systems a lot is, and where you see it is, if snow is there, snow is melting, or if it's raining, a lot of times where the electrical service comes into the house to where your panel is, there's like, I don't want to call it a rubber gasket, but maybe it is. I have no idea what it is. But sometimes it isn't sealed properly. So people have had snow in their electrical system.
Water.
They've had water in the electrical system. So that's something that would come up.
Yeah. Plumbing system, so interior supply and drain lines, fixtures and water pressure, signs of leaks or corrosion. So a lot of inspectors will, if you have a dishwasher, they'll turn the dishwasher on in the beginning of the home inspection to make sure there's no leaks and it works properly, because by the time you guys are leaving, the dishwasher is done.
Yeah. One of the things with plumbing, it's interesting. We had Trish Flynn was in here this week, again, full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. And maybe it was last week. And she was talking about something in her house that she has up in Vermont. And she kept on saying to Mark, like, I don't understand. It's like this one pocket area where it gets cold and it like backs up. And the first thing Mark said is there a leak in the faucet? She's like, yeah, there's like a small drip in the faucet. And like, she was surprised. I was surprised. We were all surprised that he picked up on that right away. He's like, what's happening is that the faucet, were you there for that?
No.
Oh, so it's interesting. So the faucet is dripping. It's just a small drip. It's, not bothering anybody for the most part. But if you have a cold pocket underneath the vanity that gets cold, and now that's freezing. So now the water is drip. So the drip will go down. It freezes. Another drip come down. It freezes.
Would it help to open the cabinets?
That's what she ends up doing, is opening the cabinets and letting the heat and everything get in there. But
again, you gotta fix the issue.
Just fix the issue. So once you change the faucet, it won't be dripping, so it won't go down there.
Yeah. Heating systems, so boilers, furnaces, heat pumps, in heating mode, thermostats and heat distribution, venting and safety controls. We only have about 2 minutes left. So water heater, agent capacity, venting and safety valves, installation quality. Attics, basements, and crawl spaces. You can, inspect the insulation levels, ventilation, moisture intrusion, sump pumps and drainage systems. Anything else with?
No, that's the one with the attic, the insulation levels. I mean, a good indicator is if everybody else on the street has snow on their roof and one house doesn't, that means they don't have enough insulation in the attic.
Yeah. And like we said during the show, you are going to be going to a home inspection today with your buyer. What's something that you talked to your buyer about, sort of setting the expectation for today?
Yeah, it's more about learning what is, how to maintain your house properly, what to look for, those types of considerations. I mean, the good news is when I walked through the house with them, there were things that we picked up on. There's already a couple windows that we know have to be replaced at some point. So some sliders will have to be replaced at some time. We already went in there with that expectation of knowing those things. So just sort of keep a level head. And, a lot of times your offer is accepted based on the price it was. The house is on the market based on the condition it's in.
Some takeaways for today. I think, snow can hide exterior conditions, but it doesn't eliminate the value of an inspection. Safety and access always comes first. Winter inspections can still provide critical insight into how a home performs under stress, and understanding seasonal limitations helps buyers move forward with confidence and clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have another checklist, which is a winter home inspection checklist for buyers. If this is something that you are interested in us getting to you, you can email us at realestate@bostonconnect.com, realestate@bostonconnect.com. Go Pats for sure. And open houses, Cushing Trail is every Saturday and Sunday. Sue Bollinger is there today. Faith Birmingham is there tomorrow at Cushing Trails 10 to 12. And then over at Cochise, Kristen's there today. Mary is there tomorrow, 10 to 2. All new construction. We only have one left in Hanson, just so you know.
And it could be yours.
One left. Yep. So go Pats, go Drake, May, and all the Patriots. Be safe out there on the field and bring home that ring.
Yes. Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome.
Bye, Tim.
I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you.
The South Shore's first choice for live team